Hello everybody. Today there'll be no long intro, no personal news, because although this video is about Meghan again, the video will contain a lot of personal insights and views. So let's get on to it. For the last few days I've been thinking about my father regularly. He passed away September 3 years ago. And it was while thinking about him that I actually came to some kind of epiphany where it concerns Meghan. And it was in particular when I remembered him saying something to me when I was about 17, 18 years old. We were talking about my future as I was just finishing high school and arguing about what I was going to do for the rest of my life. And I remember him telling me that success is like climbing a mountain. You have to take it slow and steady, because if you rush it, you may miss your footing and fall. You may get seriously injured or even fall to your death. And suddenly something clicked in my brain, and I thought of Meghan. I personally think that regardless of all her personality disorders, etc., etc., that is where Meghan went wrong, even as a child. She wasn't patient enough. She didn't want to work her way to success. She didn't want to take her time to reach a lasting form of success. She wanted it all, and she wanted it now. And the reason why I recognized that was because at 17, 18, I was exactly the same. My parents wanted me to go study to become a teacher, and that was the very last thing I wanted to do. I did not want to spend another 4 years at university being dependent on my family. I wanted to go out and work, earn my own money, and do what I wanted to do. And today, I'm reaping the effects of my decision to rush to independence. And I think that is what is happening to Meghan as well, or what happened to her throughout her life, and exactly why she, as a rather intelligent woman, one that's not too ugly, although I personally do not find her very attractive, but she's definitely not ugly. I think it's because she rushed things all her life that she did not reach the success that she was capable of reaching. And now we're not taking into account all her personality disorders. That is a matter for another video, and one that has been discussed in previous videos. The difference between myself and Meghan Markle was that at 17, 18, I thought I could conquer the world. I thought I could do whatever I set my mind to do without the credentials to get me there. I didn't realize that I needed the paperwork to back me up. Meghan Markle, however, probably took her mom's advice never to give the milk out for free as a way for her to reach the top by using her sexuality, by using her body. She took that advice way too seriously. And by watching the photographs in this video, you will see exactly what I mean. In this video, we are not going to be talking about Meghan's boyfriends or her ex-husbands. We have done that before, and if you want to know more about each one of them, again, just scroll back and you will find a video that I have done on all Meghan's boyfriends and ex-husbands. What we are going to do is we are going to be looking at her body language and salacious behavior around men whom she did not date. But before we do that, I did some studying on the subject before making this video, and most of my information is coming from Psychology Today and in particular articles by Dr. Stephen A. Diamond. And I'm going to be reading pieces of it directly from his work. And it says the following: sex can be used to avoid facing ourselves and the existential facts of life. Like a drug, sexual activity is engaged in by some to escape from feelings of low self-esteem, anxiety, loneliness, meaninglessness, sadness, grief, anger, or rage. Or, and this is very important, to manipulate others, exert power, and control over them. And we are seeing this in the case of Meghan on a number of occasions. Sex can be wielded like a weapon to hurt people, to cruelly humiliate them, and to sadistically exact retribution and retaliation for real or imagined slights. Alright, so it appears, to me at least, that is exactly what Meghan has been doing most of her adult life, or at least since she was 17. We look at her body language when she poses for photographs with people she's not dating, and we see her leaning into them. We see her looking up at them with doe eyes. We also, on the occasion, see the men actually looking rather uncomfortable, and I would guess that those are either gay men or men who are probably married. Nevertheless, why is she doing this? This is because she, at a very early stage in her life, realized how to manipulate men in particular. By playing the victim, by pretending to be helpless, men tend to fall for that. And when that comes with a good dose of sexuality, you have them caught for a sucker most of the time. Okay, does that lead to anything else? Yes, in some cases, the woman, or in most cases, the woman will get whatever they want, even if it's temporary. However, it has a lasting effect on the woman who uses these tactics to make progress in life. It can result in what is called compulsive promiscuity. Now, what is compulsive promiscuity? Promiscuity, or the indiscriminate sexual behavior, can commonly be seen in various mental disorders such as psychosis, mania episodes, substance abuse, dissociative identity disorder, as well as borderline personality disorder, narcissistic, and antisocial personalities. Now, with Meghan, we have already established that she is an extreme narcissist, and in my mind a fairly dangerous one, meaning that she doesn't have the range of emotions that you and I may have, and therefore it comes easier to her to use her sexuality to manipulate people. Because whereas you and I may have sex that goes along with a certain amount of emotion, be it love or infatuation or even lust, Meghan may not experience any of those emotions when she uses her sexuality. She may be as cold as ice, but with one thing in mind, and that's her ultimate goal. And with that in mind, with her goal in mind, she has no qualms in using her body and her sexuality to obtain that goal. She ultimately does not need to rely on her emotions to have sex like you or me. Why so? How could she be like that other than her being a narcissist? It is said, and it's said by Dr. Stephen A. Diamond very eloquently, that it is the chronic repression of anger and rage rather than sexuality that tends to predominate the clinical picture of people suffering from a sundry of psychiatric symptoms. And that is the clincher, my friends. No normal person growing up in a normal household will not at some point in their lives experience emotions, be it sadness, happiness, elation, whatever. There are a range of emotions. Meghan, however, has one predominant emotion, and that is anger and rage. She is manipulating because of anger and rage. She is full of taking revenge. That is her ultimate goal. You slight her, whether it was meant as a slight or whether she imagined it to be a slight. You slight her and she lives to take revenge. And that is very clear, or it became clear, since she had left the royal family. So the question is, what will happen to Meghan as she grows older? Well, even the learned doctors do not have a definite answer for that. A couple of things can happen. Her attitude and body language and her sexual desires may change as she goes through menopause or after menopause. However, not necessarily. As the doctor reminds us, sexual desires and sexual behavior can either change after menopause, but can remain and will remain until death. Okay, so a better question would be, what will happen to Harry if Meghan decides to change her body language, to change her attitude, and to change her salacious behavior? Well, there they do have an answer. The chances are that Meghan will start to resent men as a whole, because men took advantage of her behavior, her attention-seeking behavior through sexual body language. So she may reach a point where she looks back on her life and feel used, and hatred and anger and resentment will increase. And who will she take it out on? Well, she will take it out on the man closest to her, and that will be Harry. So no matter how we look at Harry and Meghan's relationship, the predicted ending is not a positive one. They may stay together for the remainder of their lives, but will they be happy together for the rest of their lives? That is highly unlikely. And listening to other YouTubers and reading the news, it is already said that there is a lot of unhappiness in their home, that there's a lot of bickering and arguing going on. Well, can this continue? Or will either one of them at some point draw the line in the sand and say, this far and no further? And if that happens, when will it happen? We'll talk about that next time. Thank you for being here with me once again. I do apologize for the electronic buzz that suddenly cropped up in my recording. I will try and fix that next time. As I said, I'm not reading from a script, so sometimes I say things and it comes from the heart, and it's very difficult to repeat in another recording. So guys, take care of yourselves. Please come back. We still have a lot to talk about. So for now, I'm saying bye.